Race fans, we're glad you're here. My name is Aaron Tate.
And this is Richard Gere. And today marks Group 5 and 6 in Round 2 of the Gravity Chaos Rallycross event. It's great to see a crowd here.
Hey, Richard, is that guy still in his hospital bed?
Yes. And look, 2D and 3D are going to help themselves to a moose burger.
Well, race fans, no time for a moose burger here. As we're introducing Iron Man with Iron's diecast, he's the number 43. Ross Sun God is the number 79 wagon. And next to him, Mick K is driving the 92 Ford Focus. And then it's James Ironbeard in the 00 Ford Sierra Cosworth.
And let me bring you quickly up to speed. The scoring, first place is 6, 4, 2, then 1. Now don't forget, there are 6 checkpoints, and there are also 5-point bonuses for drifting or crossing the train over the GTR logo. Right away, we're looking at some fast competition now. Mick K has a lead on the Joker lane. Here comes Iron Man, and Ross Sun God appears to be stuck. In reverse comes Iron Man, and he's going to go through the S-turns and onto runway 3 in first place. He's got a nice sizable lead here now as he's coming around the big U, keeping an eye on his competition. He's going to spin around. You better hurry up, though. And Mick will take second. There comes James in third place. 3 of the 4 finish.
Ross Sun God was the first onto Mesa Butte, but he overcooks his drift, and it's Iron Man that had to thread the needle and get through to move on. Now, here comes Mick K, and he's in second place as he passes the train. Remember, James Ironbeard had a little trouble up in the snow section, and Mick maintains his second place. There's Iron Man, and here comes Mick, who spins around 360, but he still keeps his second place finish. Now, the round 1 scores are over on the right, and if you take the race 1 scores and add them to it, right now Iron Man leads with 52, and Mick is right behind with 51.
All right, very good. Here's race 2, folks, and the lights are red as the engines are firing up, and James Ironbeard is on the outside. Mick is on the inside here. We'll watch Mick and Ross Sun God go down the Joker lane. Oh, a nice start, and Iron Man and Ironbeard are ironing each other pretty wickedly. Here they come. Both drift pretty well. And turning around, but it seems like they both have the lead. And safe over the jump now, and yep, they have a lead now, first and second place. Here comes Mick, and Ironbeard is going to just cut him off and keeps that second place finish, and now he's bumping into Iron Man. And the Irons take first and second place. Mick will take third. And all right, there comes Ross Sun God in fourth.
Well, let's start here on Mesa Butte, and you'll notice both Irons didn't have the prettiest drifts, but they did keep up their momentum, and that's very important. Now watch Mick and Ross Sun God, they're battling it out around the Joker lane. Now Mick comes out ahead, and you can see that both of them got slowed up quite a bit. There goes Ross Sun God. The good news is that everyone finished. Wow, and Ross Sun God even managed to pivot around on his way down to the runway. Watch again, here he goes. And he decides he'll finish the rest of the race in reverse. Now, take a look at the scores again. It's great to see in the red all the drivers finish. Everyone gets 6 checkpoints, and Iron Man has the lead with 64.
This would be a good time to remind all the viewers that these races that we're watching, each of these groups, it's not an elimination. They are accumulating points, and in the end, the one with the most is the winner. Oh, James Ironbeard just flipped it over like a pancake. And look at Ross Sun God on the inside. Now down the Joker lane, nicely done. Mick is slowed up a bit as he's drifting along. He's going to continue, but you gotta like what Ross Sun God is doing. He is not going to hold back at all. You know he's got a lot of speed, and he keeps moving it along well ahead of Iron Man. He's going to spin it around and come through very nice. A 25-second time. And here comes Iron Man. Okay, and here comes Mick. Very important third place finish.
Keep your eyes on James Ironbeard in lane 2, and you'll notice the back end just pops up. It's very difficult to tell what caused that, but it didn't take much for him to flip over. And even Ross Sun God got a little airtime. Mick had a miscalculation on the drift, but the good news is he kept moving. And if you finish, you're going to stay in the game. Here comes all the drivers, Iron Man, as he's blasting along with good speed. And there's Mick in third place coming around. And folks, let's take a look again at the scores. After the third race, it is Iron Man with 75. He again finishes. He's finished in second place. Mick finished in third and has 68. And Ross Sun God pulls up to 62.
All right, well, and for James Ironbeard, it's critical to finish this race, no doubt about it, if he wants to stay in. Lights are yellow. There goes the green light. Iron Man is closest to us. Iron Beard is next to him. Mick is in lane 2 and lane 1. Look at Ross Sungod just pouring it on. Oh no, and they both overdrift. Ross Sungod is stuck. Mick is in reverse. Iron Man is in the lead right now on the Joker lane. Here he comes around, and he's going to pull on ahead. He had a great ride through the snow and was ahead of James Ironbeard. Now he's got the lead. Here we go, onto the Scrambler. And Iron Man flips over. He's on his belly, and Mick will come through in first. Iron Man in second, and it was James Ironbeard in third.
We want to draw your attention back to James Ironbeard in lane 3. Watch the back end pop up. And that is what is giving him problems right now. But I guess it's not as bad as poor Ross Sungod. Twice now on the drift pad. He's overdrifted and got stranded. Here they come down the runway, and they're looking fast. And this is the moment when Iron Man lost it, and you see Mick actually help him finish in second. The final scores for this group put Mick at 80 points. That's great. Iron Man with 86. James Ironbeard with 68, and Ross Sungod with 64.
What's most interesting is there were no 5-point bonuses handed out.
Let's go to commercial break.
Hello, race fans. At Gravity Throttle Racing, we don't want to give you a whirlwind tour. We care about you. My name is Portia Gear, Richard's mother. Please buy our merchandise.
It's that time again, folks. The best in show, and this is Group 5. First up, vote for number 1 if you want to vote for Iron's diecast in that green Subaru Impreza. Now, the number 79, Ross Sungod, has a stock paint job, but he does have custom decals. That's a vote for number 2. A vote for number 3 is James Ironbeard. It is Ford Sierra Cosworth with that livery for Red Bull. And number 4 is for Mick K, Kitterman Speed Shop, for the paint and the decals. You get 1 vote. Now here's Group 6. And number 1 is the Supra from Johnson's Hot Wheel Garage. A vote for number 2 is a vote for Crazy Canuck. And it looks like he has the Canadian version of Red Bull. Now, number 3, if you vote number 3, that's for Arlo Racing in that green, white, and blue faded paint job. Very classic look he has. Now, number 4 is all stock, and so that will not qualify. Once again, you get 1 vote per group.
Let's meet the drivers in Group 6. We begin with the number 48 Supra, and that is Johnson's Hot Wheel Garage. Nick is the driver. Next to him we have the Crazy Canuck. And after that is Arlo with Arlo Racing in that Mercury Cougar. Skux Bogan with Chase Family Racing is on the inside.
There you have it, folks. We've got 3 well-known names, and then Nick at the top. He's a bit of a wild card. All these drivers begin with 40, 41, or 42 points as round 2 takes off, and Arlo takes off. Wow! And Nick is right there with him. Arlo's first down. Look at him scream. All right, here comes Nick, and he's got a smooth drift, and so does Crazy Canuck, but Arlo is already through the tunnel, and I think he just popped out in front of the train. It's like we're watching 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, and there goes Arlo. He's already on the Scrambler and through the finish, and what in the world is that time? 22.392. And then we've got 3 other drivers that finished.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have just witnessed one of the fastest runs from a production vehicle we've ever had on Shavano Mountain Raceway. Arlo has posted the 2nd fastest overall time with a 22.392.
Yeah, we haven't talked about it, but folks, one of the awards is for the fastest time, and we may have just found our winner.
And this race continues to surprise us. Look at that, race fans. Both Crazy Canuck and Nick get 5 extra points for fantastic drifting. And now we see in slow motion Arlo hanging on for dear life as he throws the throttle down. And the lead over the other drivers is just incredible. At the end of the first race, now Nick does a great job with 5 extra points. He's up to 55. And so is Crazy Canuck. He's in the 50s. Actually, all the drivers are in the 50s. They all finished. But Arlo has, right now, the fastest time. And it's going to be hard for anyone to beat that.
Oh yeah, for sure. If you were asleep until now or you thought the racing was boring, it's time to wake up. And here we go. Oh no, Arlo had a rough landing and he is probably stuck in the snow. Meanwhile, take a look at the close competition on the drift. Nick does a great job, and it might have been Skux Bogan that got stuck up there on the drift section. Nick has a nice Well, oh no! He had a nice lead, and now the Canadian sneaks on through after a misstep from Nick. Crazy Canuck's going to win this second race. Here comes Nick, and oh, guess what? I see Skux Bogan. Oh, no! And Nick almost didn't take second.
All right, race fans, check this out. Now, look at number 37, Crazy Canuck. Do you see how he slowed up? We'll talk about that in just a minute, but there's the unfortunate landing that Arlo faced as he collects only 1 point. Now, take a look here as Skux manages to slide on down, and that is a huge difference for him. Here comes Crazy Canuck in the picture, and he just continues to accelerate down the runway, and he blasts right on by Nick. Now, Nick does maintain his control, and as he enters the scrambler, he is in second place, but he had to be punched through by Skux Bogan. After the second race, Nick manages 10 more points. He has 65, and so does Crazy Canuck. Skux Bogan finished the race, he's at 59, but look at Arlo. With only 1 more point, he is down at 55.
Yeah, and this is now Arlo's time on the outside lane, or rather lane 1, to do some good drifting and get ahead of the others. Skux is on his inside. Then there's Nick and Crazy Canuck closest to us. Arlo, a quick lead. Look at him now. Skux has caught him and passed him. They both drift and they both pirouette. But now look at the momentum. They've got great momentum. And Skux may have just crossed over the icon, the GTR icon, or logo. And now Arlo's going to try. Ooh! And now he's stuck. Oh, what a hit. Wow. Skux comes down the scrambler. He'll take first place. And who's that? Okay, Arlo in second. Yes, and Nick in third. There's Crazy Canuck. He passed checkpoint 5, but he's stuck right after the runway.
Now Skux and Arlo come down to drift, and it looks more like synchronized swimming. They do a pretty good job of synchronizing. Now the 2 drivers on the Joker lane are tight, but watch Skux Bogan come in and right over the GTR logo for 5 extra points. That's got to be encouraging for him. There you see Arlo closing the gap, and once again, Nick had trouble on the runway spinning around. Arlo got stuck, but then he got punched by Crazy Canuck, who in turn got stuck. So Crazy Canuck, will start with him. He got 5 checkpoints and a bonus point going down the Joker lane. He's at 71, but look at Skux. Jump up to 76, Arlo at 65, Nick at 74 with 1 race remaining.
Let's talk a little bit about Crazy Canuck. He is actually at the start here. He's high centering over that downhill portion, and that's why you see him get a slow start. Oh no, Nick knife-edged it. He's on his side. Skux Bogan has the lead down the Joker lane. Arlo has a decent drift, and here he goes, scooting around. He may have touched that GTR logo, and Skux is going to challenge him for the lead, but look at Arlo accelerate and keep the lead around the big U. No, Arlo is flipped over. He's on his back. Here comes Skux. He's going to sneak in for first. Here comes Crazy Canuck. Oh, he hits Arlo, but he will take second.
Let's take a look here as Arlo comes onto Mesa Butte. He viciously attacks the drift section, and Crazy Canuck has kind of a wild turn, but there you see Arlo hit the GTR logo for 5 extra points. He rolls it over on the scrambler, and he's just shy of the finish line. Skux will take first place, but the judges are saying it's a tie with Crazy Canuck and Arlo. Frame by frame, they're going through and showing where the shadows are, and they are awarding both drivers 4 points for a second place finish. That leaves Arlo with 80. Skux Bogan has a wonderful day, and he's at 89. Nick is at 75, and their Crazy Canuck is at 81.
We only have groups 7 and 8 remaining before round 2 is complete and all of the entries make their way to New Zealand. Now take a look at the scores as Skux Bogan on the top left has the highest score. Go down the columns to find out where you stand or where your favorite driver stands. The numbers in black are the drivers that have yet to compete in round 2.
Are you tracking?